Alrighty, so YouTubers, I am so thrilled to share with you a guest on the YouTube channel. We just discovered we graduated from the same library school together. She was a couple years ahead of me, so cool, so cool. So everybody say hello to Samantha. And Samantha, I'm not going to butcher your gorgeous name, so please tell us the last name.
Gordano.
Gordano, beautiful, thank you. So Samantha and I met on this amazing, I might have talked about it with the other librarians. I've met her on this Facebook meme group, which is really funny because we put a list of librarian memes and we do have a lot of fun. So Samantha, tell me, what kind of librarian are you?
Well, right now I'm the head of reference services down in San Antonio. So right now I'm the person who's kind of in charge of all of the reference stuff that's going on for the city, which is big. I've been almost every type of public librarian. I'm mostly public libraries, but I started out as a teen services librarian and moved into doing mostly collections management, adult and hybrid teen services. Now I'm pretty much strictly dealing with adults, but I've been all over the place.
I love it. I think that's one thing that not everybody knows about librarians is that we may get hired at one role, but we will do multiple roles.
Oh, yes.
Right. And so one thing I talk about, okay, so just a little update for everybody. My book is in edit mode and it's on its way to the editor in a week. Massive deadline, but that is 4 authors, just a real short nitty gritty behind the scenes, how to research well for authors. But the one thing I do talk about in that book is reference librarians in particular, because I just don't know if a lot of authors know what a reference librarian can do for them as an author. So why don't you share a little bit of what you think you as a reference librarian can do for an author when they come in to the library and they need help with their research?
I'll be honest that you can make your local reference librarian's life happy by coming in and talking to them. Some of our favorite things, so often, we're asked to help with things that are fairly quick, or, asking just to get help with technical services. That's fine. We love a good research question. If you ask us an in-depth question, something that we get to talk to you about and say, I need your contact information because I'm about to do some deep research on this and I will get back to you with the information, like something I can't answer right away. It's our favorite thing in the world. And being that I work in San Antonio, we're a large city, so we do get people who come to us from other locations, just random places in the country that will just come and use our services, especially our online services. And they'll reach out and say, I'm looking for information on X, Y, and Z, and we jump at those. We actually fight over those questions when they come in because everybody wants to be able to just kind of dig in there and actually really look in and research things. It's our favorite thing to do. You're not putting us out at all. You are making us happy. Like, that's what we went to school for. That's what we really want to do. It's the opportunity to use those research skills, kind of get into the actual resources, go on the databases and dig and find the information. We love it.
Oh my gosh, you can't say it better, Sam. Thanks for saying that, because I talk about that in my book about don't be shy. Throughout the book, I have little sections called Ask a Librarian, where I'm like, this is a spot where you should ask a librarian. This is where you should go ask a librarian. But I think people are shy. I never was, but I think other authors aren't. They feel like they are putting us out as librarians. But if we're at the reference desk or we are managing a reference group, a chat or an email, oh my gosh, we get so excited to have those kind of questions. Yes. Let me follow up that with you sharing with the listeners that maybe haven't got my book yet, don't have a lot of instruction. What is the best way to approach a reference librarian? Is it good to come in with a whole list of things? Should they narrow it down to a question? Kind of, what is the easiest way do you think authors can approach you?
Well, I wouldn't say you necessarily have to narrow it down to one question, because I mean, how often are any topic queries really going to be just one question? But as long as you know specifically what kind of information you need. Because well, we need to know the scope of what you're looking for. How in depth do you need us to get? Like, is this something that you need us to research and find you original documents on? Or is this something that you're just looking for the history of? Or is this something that you're examining the etymology of, something along those lines? So as long as you know the kind of the level that you're working at, the level of information that you're going to need, that's the best way to come to us. And, you know, tell us what you already have. Tell us what you already know, because we don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time. If you've already got X, Y, and Z, say, I know this, however, I'm still looking for information on this part of the topic. That's a huge help for us just to kind of get things going, and we can just save you time and save us time to get you the best information a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest tips I give a lot of authors when I talk to them. I don't do a lot of research or reference questions anymore for authors or for anybody. My role is totally different. But that's why I'm starting all of this project for authors, is because I think that they need to know that they can go ask help from librarians, but they can also do a lot of research on their own prior to going to a librarian, right? They have a lot at their fingertips, but sometimes I think that's where it gets overwhelming, is the World Wide Web, Google and Wikipedia, you know.
I was going to say, it's not that we really have access to that many more resources than anybody else, because generally speaking, especially if you're working with your public librarians, everything we have access to the public. Mm-hmm. We share all that information. It's just a matter of, we're used to navigating it. We know good search strategies. We know which databases might be better for looking at particular topics. We just kind of know how to target our searches, whereas it can be very overwhelming, extremely overwhelming, if you don't know and have that background.
No, it's true. It's true. So good. Okay, so moving on to another topic I want to kind of touch base with you. So you're in the United States, but I do plan and hope that this will be global reach. One of the questions that I get a lot from authors is, how do I get access to A, B, and C in England? Or how do I get global access? And I think that's such a really, really important thing that we can address. One thing I like to talk about is interlibrary loan processes, right? So will you explain, so I don't have to say it again, what the interlibrary loan process may be, and how can an author approach that with their local public library?
So basically, if you have a specific document that you're looking for, you have that information, that's awesome, save some time. You can bring that to your local librarian. We can look into seeing who's got it, including international, because we do share materials international. I can promise you that my library ships stuff out all the time as well. And we can see if those people are nice enough to send it to us. Now, it's going to depend on what the item is. In some cases, if it's like a rare manuscript, something like that, though, librarians love to give information out. I would say that we're very easy to take advantage of, because we just love sharing information.
We are.
Internationally, it's the same around the world. We will find a way to get you the information. We will happily find a way to scan the resource and get it to you, because that's just how we are. We're very selfless about that, and we just love sharing information. So it's a matter of really what the specific document or book or item that you're looking for is, as to whether we can get the actual item for you via interlibrary loan. But usually we can try to do something to make sure that we're at least getting you the content of the item if we can't get you the item itself. Libraries work very closely together on these things, and we really survive by sharing with each other. So it's always in our interest to share so that other people will share with us, because it's very easy for them to say no if we say no to them.
Yeah, such a great point. So the tip I am trying to get to you, if you don't know this already as an author, is to definitely approach a librarian and ask them about their interlibrary loan program. And if you do have an item, or you kind of know that there's something you're looking for, allow them to help you find it. But if it's international, don't stop and just say, I can't get it. Go and talk to your librarian, because they might be able to either get a copy of that item for you. Now, we say item interchangeably as librarians. That could be a book, that could be a CD. I mean, we use item for the full scale of what we kind of store in the library, which is vast. So don't hesitate to ask. Okay, so we're going to keep this super short and sweet, but we will bring Samantha back on when I get more questions from people. I might even get questions for Samantha individually. And if that's the case, Samantha, will you be willing to come back on and answer?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it.
Okay, so Samantha, give our authors your best tip for authors about researching. And this can be general, so, but just their best tips. So when we take us out of the podcast, I say podcast because I do both. out of this video, they're walking away with some awesome librarian advice.
It's okay to admit that you don't know about something, even if it's something that you want to write about. And it's okay to start at the beginning. As we've said, the internet is overwhelming. And sometimes when you don't know something about a topic, yeah, you can start at Wikipedia because it is, it's community built and it's a very strong community, very active people, a lot of librarians on Wikipedia editing those articles. It's a starting point because the best thing you can do is build the vocabulary for the search terms, for the things that are going to bring up the results for you in the various databases so that you know the jargon, because if you don't have the words specific to that topic, you're not going to get as accurate results. So always just try to dig in and learn as much as you can about the topic that you're looking at to kind of get that orientation so that you're going to get better results, you're going to have more effective results, and it's going to take you less time. You'll be able to find a lot more on your own without assistance if you kind of sink that effort in there and make sure that you've learned about what it is that you're looking for.
Awesome. Such great advice. Thank you so much, Samantha. I'm so glad you're here. What's really funny is I keep looking at your beautiful face and your Drexel degree behind you. I just moved in my new office, so mine isn't behind me, so you can't see it. But I'm super proud to have my fellow sister librarian from the school that we graduated from. Go Drexel. Great school. If you're interested in becoming into library science, ask me, and I'll tell you all about how to get into Drexel. It's a really great program. But anyways, thanks for being here, and we will follow up if I get any more questions or if something comes up and I think, oh, I know Samantha can answer that. I'll bring you back on.
I am happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you.
And nobody be shy. By the way, feel free. Go ask us at San Antonio. My librarians will help you.
Okay, that's awesome. And they can probably find you on the internet from the San Antonio. Oh, good. You guys,
very easy to find.
You saw her on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, guys, thanks so much.
Great. Thanks.